Okay, April 26th, we're working on the alternative to the Restore America plan, which may very well be a failure, unfortunately. And what we're trying to do is a peaceful, lawful process, and we're taking advantage of the recall provision to pull elected officials out of office. We've covered the judges. If we get rid of the judges, we don't have to worry about the convictions for crimes that aren't crimes. If we get rid of the sheriff, we got enforcement because we put a good sheriff in, and you become deputies with law enforcement powers superior to that of the federal agents, and you lock them up. Okay? You could also lock the city police up. People can be locked up for violating constitutional rights. The FBI used to do this in the 1960s. It is a crime. You can lock them up. Okay? And then you take them to your own judge, and you put them in jail, and you're the bailiff. You're the bailiff, and because the sheriff's a bailiff, and you maintain order in the court, and the feds can't carry their guns in the courtroom and so forth. Okay, moving along, we got to cover the mayor. One of the big problems with the mayor is he controls the police chief. He appoints the police chief. The police chief's not elected. It's the mayor. So the mayor probably doesn't know much about anything. He's just a good old corrupt guy trying to feather his nest. Okay? The question is, the mayor got to go because he's putting police chief pigs in that don't follow the Constitution. The first thing you do is you tell the mayor your intentions. You're going to knock off the judges, you're knocking off the police chiefs, and if he doesn't play ball, he goes. Now, the mayor's probably the easiest guy to convert. If he's a member of a secret society, you got a problem right off the top. Remember that. He may go. He doesn't really care about the Constitution one way or the other. He just wants to be in office. You may be able to tell him you need a police chief who's going to follow the Constitution and this and that, and you got to explain to him what all that involves. Again, he may not care. You might get this guy. Okay? If you don't get this guy, you tell him that you're going to destroy him. You're going to take him and the police chief down, okay? And he's going with the police chief because he appointed the police chief. And you do the same thing. You put his poster up, the police chief's poster up, you get their arrest reports, you send retired people and women that don't work, men that don't work in this unfortunate economy to the court, and they have city courts, and you record the trials and so forth. If you got city judges, judges is a judge, you got to get the judge out of there too. And you try recalling the mayor. Now, the mayor is going to be the hardest guy to recall, okay, because he's going to have big businesses support them. But I'm going to tell you how you take care of this. You and your militia group and your friends and your sovereigns and everybody else you can summon up and the people you can convince, you're going to have to work for this. You go to the businesses that have supported this mayor. You find out who gave what in his last election. And you tell them you're going to run a boycott on their businesses. Tell them you might only have 3,000 families, 500 families, whatever you have. We're all going to boycott your business, okay? If you want that, hang tough with the mayor, okay? And we're going to make it a public announcement that we're boycotting your business. And why? Because you're supporting unconstitutional politicians that violate our rights and treat us like indentured servants or slaves. That's your political posture. Okay? Now, if he wants to stand up against that, let him. He's going to wreck his business. Okay? So you take these business guys out and you knock the legs out from under the mayor. The police chief is moot. Okay, he's not an elected official. If the mayor fires him, he can file a lawsuit and blah blah blah. But he's out. Okay, so there's no point in starting up with him. It's probably a waste of time to try to convert him, because then if you convert him, then the mayor throws him out. But you do want to educate the policeman and the policewoman and explain to them the Constitution. Have people that have time walk over to them with some simple, easy to understand literature and say, do you have a minute? And try to explain it to them. Take an ad out in the paper offering the police to go visit this website. Try to reach out to these people and explain to them that the mayor is evil. Okay? And he is. And the police chief is an evil representative of him, and you should be, on guard not to do this. You're violating your oath of office. The system's perverted. Look how many people losing their houses. People don't eat. They don't get good health care. They can't go to emergency rooms. They're closed. Blah, blah, blah. Illegal immigration. Jump up and down. Think of any kind of things you want. The perils of society, and then point all roads back to the mayor. Okay? Do what they do to you to them. All right? And you will be surprised, shocked at how easy it is to damage these frail people. Okay? There's a lot of family court judges running around in communities that just wipe their feet on people. Okay? They take their kids away from them, everything else. Okay? You go to one of those judges and you look that judge in the eye and you tell him, we're going to run a recall on you. Okay? Here's what the billboards are going to look like. I'm telling you, you're going to get the attention of that judge. These judges are politicians. They're not people imputing justice on people. They have their own personal agendas, and they got secret societies, and they got various perverted ideas about sex with children and other sicknesses they keep getting caught doing. But you can nail them, because there's always another corrupt jackass standing in line ready to take his place at the bench, and he knows that. The idea is the next corrupt jackass waiting to take to the bench has to be our boy, okay, our gal, a constitutionalist, all right? And you can take these people out. The voters don't even know who's sitting on their family court, who's sitting in their circuit court, they don't know what's going on. Every now and then somebody gets a ticket, they might go to court, they might mail it in. They don't know what's going on. You start educating them, you're going to get them scared. People are going to get scared, and they're going to want to get rid of this guy. Okay? And this guy has no legs to stand on. If he's a sheriff, you get his arrest reports. If he's a mayor/police chief, arrest reports. If he's a judge, his decisions. You've got them with objective facts. They cave in. They have nowhere to go. They are finished. And you can wipe these guys out. It's going to take a few months, and you can take your communities back. And, stop raising your sights and trying to, take a whole country. Figure, what if you get a county, okay? And you got the sheriff and the judge in your county, or the 2 or 3 judges in your county working with the Constitution. Well, at least you have peace of mind when you don't travel, right? Then it'll spread to the next county, and then pretty soon you might have a state. And then you could pull the same thing on the governor. You could throw a governor out of office. And the other thing is, you can go to your state legislatures and you can pull this on them. I'm going to have another tape on the recall. But initially, if enough of you guys decide to take back your communities, you can. Now, with the mayor, when you throw the mayor out, and he will be thrown out far easier than you imagine, okay, you can get a good police chief that follows the Constitution, and police departments have what? They have reserve police officers. Reserve police officers come in different flavors. Some have no powers, no gun, and they just work as clerical type people, and in some communities they don't exist anymore. In other communities they have powers only when they're on duty, and in other communities they have powers 24/7 when they're not on duty. You might have to go sit and take some courses. He might you may have to buy your own gun or something like that, but you can have police powers, okay? You become a reserve police officer, just like the reserve deputy, and then you can enforce the law against the feds. Imagine a constitutional sheriff that doesn't want to do the foreclosures. What are the banks going to do? They can't throw the people out of the house. What are you going to do? Bring the state police in to foreclose them? Good luck with that. Then the sheriff could stop the state police. You can get a lot of mileage out of being a reserve police officer. Okay, a constitutional cop. Remember that term, constitutional cop. Okay, and then treat the federal agents as private security guards for the federal corporation. Okay, more coming.